Today on the
Today's
Unofficial
episode of the
Shopify
Unofficial
podcast.
podcast.
Accurate. Today on the Unofficial Shopify podcast, we are discussing new features. Oh my gosh, everyone likes shiny new toys, bells and whistles. So we're going to talk about all the new stuff coming to Shopify that they announced exactly a week ago, last Wednesday. And we'll go through that. We'll give you the straight dope on what's coming and what to care about and what it means for your store. And then we are going to do a store teardown of a super cool store I found. I think we're going to do more of these dual man, double team teardowns on these websites because they go well. They're fun. And we learn a lot. Yeah, hey, this is about edutainment. Okay, it's Mr. Rita. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. It's a nice day outside. I'm feeling good. We had a good stats day for all the Illinois health stuff. So we get to go places next week.
Whoa, I'm not there yet. I really want to get a big boy haircut, but that scares me.
Well, get a pair of clippers and have your lovely wife just run them over your head, as that is that's
what I've been doing.
Weekend.
I've been cutting my own hair, but I can't do the back, so Julie has to do the back for me. But so far, it's turned out pretty good because what I've done is avoid the top. I just don't mess with the top. I do the sides and back, and hope for the best.
You're just trying to get that 1994 Conan. Just really high up.
Well, I could... well, that's the problem. Now it's too long. The weight keeps me from doing the big pompadour like Conan. I like my pompadour loud. But it's got too much weight to it, so it's just kind of slick back now. Watch, we could go full, 2004 emo. You want it?
No.
I'm gonna do it.
No.
It's happening.
No.
All right, I'll skip it.
All right, good. I shamed you. I love
just
it.
Flock of seagulls, just push that forward. That was the haircut I had. It was not a good idea. It's a terrible idea. I got a new desk. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I know. You tweeted it, and then you directly DM'd me, and then also posted it in our business Slack and in all these other places. I've seen that desk 4 times today.
And it's awesome, right?
It really was just more of a photo of computers. I didn't really see what was good about the desk.
Okay, well, I can send you the desk separately. I have a different photo. I'll send you the desk.
Oh, good.
It's a pretty awesome desk.
That's what I wanted.
What was I going to say? So in client work, we launched a site. We had all these really big sites launching. And over the weekend, Carcane Supply launched. Carcane Supply. What the heck is Carcane Supply? It's Hoonigan, the automotive lifestyle brand, partnered with another company, and we worked with it. And this is a thing that got put into the works last October when I met with these people in Vegas for SEMA. Now, this is cool because if you head to carcanesupply.com, it'll redirect you to Hoonigan's Shopify store. And we built, inside of their existing Shopify store, a separate store with over 100,000 products. We'd never done such a thing before. And what's cool about it is the pages somehow still manage to load in 2 seconds, even though we have 100,000 products. That I'm very proud of. I've never managed a store with this many products and have it work out so nicely.
Yeah, and I mean, kudos to who did we get to do that sidebar filtering with all the collections? What app
all right,
is
so
that?
The apps we used, Booster Apps, Product Filter, and Search is really, really good. That is my go-to filter and search app.
It is really great. It is loading this gigantic catalog, and it's happening right away. It works on a level that I'm shocked that I was like, wow, that worked well. Because I thought initially, it was gonna be bad.
We did everything we could to try and make it work without an app. And it was like, okay, collection page takes 20 to 30 seconds to load. So we knew right away that it wasn't going to work. And maybe I could have made it work with GraphQL, but also could just get away with it using the app.
Yeah,
the app's, it's pretty cool. Just from a just purely like thinking about the performance and managing and searching through a catalog of that size. So I'll throw that in the show notes.
And I just think it's just a great addition to their business, because the power of Hoonigan is all this great content they create, all these great videos. And so on the blog pages that they're launching the videos on, they now have that synergy of like, well, here's all the parts we used in this cool car build. You can now buy these parts directly on our own website. And I think that's
yes.
I think that's going to be huge for them.
Yeah. So like some background there, Hoonigan's an automotive lifestyle brand. So they have combined 20 million subscribers across all their social channels. And they create a lot of content around like crazy car builds. And they sell a bunch of apparel related to it that does well. And they have sponsorships. And like, we're not involved with the media and sponsorship side. But what they've done to really expand on things is make all the products that they were talking about just naturally, organically as part of their videos. Now they can link to those in their own store and sell them. It's very cool. So we learned a lot on that one. And then we also launched Proven Winners Direct. So if you've ever purchased plants at Home Depot, you probably bought Proven Winners, this famous national plant brand. They're very good. They sell a lot of stuff on Amazon as well. And we launched them, got them a new site, provenwinnersdirect.com. And we used some of the learnings from the Hoonigan Car Cane project, and that I liked that filtered search app so much. And they've got hundreds of products, not 100,000 products, but they're all very, they're very specific. Like I want this one specific kind of plant for my garden. So this filter and search app made that work really nicely. So it's kind of cool to see like the same app work well in these two completely different use cases, brand-wise anyway.
Yes.
Well, and I think like Proven Winners just such a beautiful looking site. But I'll throw that in there. I don't know. I wanted to pat ourselves on the back, toot our horn. The other big news is there was some keynote, some webinar from some guy, some Canadian company. Did you hear about this?
I don't pay attention to Canadian companies. Only real American companies. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Screw BlackBerry. I'm glad I outlived BlackBerry. Eat it. Hate
yes,
Canadian.
How could I forget your long-running feud with BlackBerry?
I never owned one, did I?
No, you're right. You did not. I just want the weird one-off versions of domestic cars that they sold in Canada under different names. I don't know why they did this, but there were several like Ford would do this especially, but they would sell just like the same car in Canada with a slightly different name. I don't know why.
It's part of like Canadian content regulations. Like that's an arm of CanCon we don't know about. Is
CanCon a thing?
Do you know?
I know that like they have to make Canadian TV.
Yeah, that's what that's called. Where it's like, you know, a show needs to have X number of like Canadian content in it, and like your radio station needs to play X number of songs by Canadian artists. That's why.
And that's how we end up with fabulous television productions like Schitt's Creek. That's a wonderful show.
That's just what I'm talking. I'm not sure what the regulation was, but that's why Bob and Doug existed in SCTV, is because they had like, you need to have X amount of Canadian content. So they were like, well, let's just make it the most stereotypically Canadian thing there is. And then that's where that became.
I did not know that.
Yes.
So of course I'm talking about Shopify Re-Unite. So annually they do a developer conference called Shopify Unite. This also happens to be where they do their big keynote. It's an hour long where they pack us all into a conference center, and various Shopify leadership come out and explain new products on their, or new features, new products on the Shopify product roadmap. And we get updates on that stuff. And then, of course, the bad thing happened, and they canceled the conference. Every conference disappeared very quickly, and they said, well, we don't know what we're going to do. And instead, they did a webinar called Shopify Re-Unite. And there were, even though it was virtual and it was coming at this strange time, there was no shortage of announcements in it. Would you like to review those with me?
We got to fill the content hole somehow, so might as well.
Get excited! I need you to match. You got to mirror and match my energy.
No, yeah, I need to be the exact opposite of whatever you are. If you are too excited, I need to be. If you're at 20, I got to be at -20. We got to keep it even.
Okay, what if I all right, I'm gonna reverse it then. Like, oh no, I wasn't paying attention. They announced some stuff. Talk like my 10-year-old when you ask him if he practiced his instrument. All right, so I'm gonna run through these because there's quite a few.
All right.
First one, and these are roughly in the order they announced them. There's no particular order here. Installment payments. Installment payments, we know, like Affirm, Klarna, Sezzle, you do this wonderful thing. It bumps average order value, in which you're able to offer people 0% financing with no credit check. This is great for people who don't necessarily have access to credit cards, which is more common than you'd think. And now Shopify is offering that natively as part of Shopify Pay.
So I have a question about this. When they announced it, they said, I caught the phrase, we're working with a partner on implementing that. And I know that was part of I think that everyone scanned over that. So this is kind of how Shopify does stuff. I think this is kind of what they announced with the checkout last year, that they were working with, who were the two big checkout? They were working with...
last year, yeah, they said, hey, we're working with Recharge and Bold to add native subscriptions.
It's the checkout. So, and I feel like this is another one of those. But they didn't say who it was they were working with. So there's 3 big names, but they only said a partner. So someone is in and 2 are out.
For all we know, it could have been Stripe.
Oh, it could have been Stripe. Okay.
Because Stripe, they partnered with Stripe to do Shopify payments.
All right, then I took that as like, we like Affirm. Affirm is now, or Sezzle or whoever has now been selected.
Yeah, one of them gets the blessing.
Yeah, and everyone else get out.
No, I don't know. I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually, but no. But I've seen the thing with these payment gateways is, number one, yeah, like the objection is, we're just giving people more ways to go into debt. But right now, they're all paying with a credit card, and the interest rate on a credit card is bonkers. Like a good credit card interest rate, 16%.
Yeah, it's either they independently put it on a credit card and get banged out for 16 to 20%, or you offer payments natively yourself, in which case they don't pay any interest rates. So really, if you want to be the morality police patrolling other people's debt choices, you should not take credit cards.
I know that one always baffles me, but yeah. So you with Shopify payments, you will be able to offer 0% financing to customers. So I like that one a lot, and I also like this feature because this is one of those ones where it's like it's going to be a checkbox. Go in settings, check out, and then there's probably a checkbox in there where you turn it on.
Yeah, and it's an unmitigated win because if it works like the other ones, you get all your money up front, and it dramatically increases your conversion rates. People love taking this option. And if that's the thing they need to push them over the edge, it'll definitely work.
All right, what else we got here? Product states. So product states, currently a product is either available or unavailable. All right, that's fine until you're dealing with a whole huge product catalog, especially one that changes a lot, different inventory. And they have added, in addition to published and unpublished, now there's draft and archive. Archive is nice because it means you can get the product out of the catalog without totally deleting it. Because in the past, it'd be like, the stuff just accumulates in your product catalog. So it's just an easy pain point in the admin. There's a lot of focus on back-end stuff as opposed to front-end stuff, but there'll be front-end stuff.
I kind of don't get this. If it's either it's on the site or it's not. So why do we need...
You like it very binary.
If it's draft, it's also not on the site. And if it's archive, it's also not on the site. So we've added
But your work is all front end.
I know.
You rarely have to mess with what they call the back office, the back end of Shopify.
But how is draft different from unpublished?
Draft indicates that it is not a product not ready to be published.
How is that different from just unpublished?
Well, when you're dealing, if you're a sole proprietor, you're one person and you don't hire anyone, then you can just keep it in your head. When there's multiple people on it, it makes it much harder to figure out like what's going on where. Like we're working on a project and there are a whole bunch of products that were unpublished that looked like they could be published, but I have no idea. If they were draft, then I'd know, okay, then those should not be published. And archived, okay, good. They just go away and I don't have to worry about them. The other thing that goes along with that, that I don't know that I wrote down. Oh, yeah, I did. Page activity. So product pages now support page activity. You can see who else is working on the same product as you and avoid losing work. So it sounds like it'll keep you from saving over someone else. Like, let's say you're both editing the product. Who clicks save last is the one who gets it right. So I think they added that. And that clearly goes along with these different product states. And then right now it's just on product pages. Hopefully they said they're going to add it to other areas. But it's nice because you've got an activity log in Shopify, but the activity log really is only detailed particularly in orders. Beyond that, it's a little limited. So seeing that activity log get expanded, I like. Because then you know who screwed it up. You know who broke what, or who touched it last, or who to ask about. Like, hey, can I mess with this? It's really like both of those features are for people working in teams.
Yeah, and that's also part of the where is this? They have the new performance dashboard, which is the main thing that I'm very excited about. Is there will be a thing you could check on in your admin that shows how fast or slow your store is over time, and you can and it keeps track of it as a time series. So you could be like, all right, on the 15th, what did we do? Because ever since we did that thing, our site speed has cratered. And 9 times out of 10,
I love this thing.
It's because you added a weird app. But yeah, I'm super into that because all the time clients are like, make my site faster. It needs to be faster. And it's like, okay, well, let's look at the history of your site. Why did you do that? What does that do? And then we get to figure out what the bad boys are much easier and who installed it and what they did, and we can blame them.
Yeah, so like page activity and this performance dashboard, they're both just for pointing fingers better.
They're just for blaming people, which I'm all about.
What's cool about that performance dashboard, so they showed a screenshot of it. It's like, all right, it had like, it looked like it had 2 metrics for site speed, like first paint, which is a measure of like how fast the page renders. I forgot what the other one was. But what was clever about it is it let you view it historically, like as a timeline. So if you're like, man, my site feels slow, is that me or is it in my head? You could just look at this dashboard, the performance dashboard, and see, oh, on May 9th, things seemed to suddenly slow down. Okay, what did we change on May 9th? Oh, we published this, we added this app. Okay, so it makes it really easy, makes it a lot easier to figure out what's going on. Because traditionally the problem with performance is, is themes acquire cruft like barnacles to a ship, but you don't know what's what. When I say to a merchant, oh yeah, your site's slow because it's got 45 apps installed, what can we remove? They go, well, I don't know. I don't even know what this does anymore. So I think this will make it a lot easier to troubleshoot these issues. So yeah. This one excited me.
I'm interested in seeing how granular it is, because you could obviously see what site-wide problems are just by loading the homepage, but we've had problems where the clients have done weird things to their collection pages, and so it's like, oh, it's actually this weird collection page thing you did that's creating a huge problem, or a weird thing you've done on your product pages. So it's like, will we be able to look at these things on a page-by-page basis? I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Well, based on how other reports work, where you're able to like add a column and add your filters, I would expect that that's a reasonable assumption, but we'll see, what happens when they roll it out. I'm happy with anything that helps us make sites faster, make them more performant.
Yeah, 100%.
And along with that, new storefront renderer. Did you catch that?
I did not catch that. I see that in the notes. I don't remember them talking about that. Tell me more.
All right, so the new storefront renderer. So when you load a site from Shopify, the first thing that has to happen, so the web browser goes to Shopify, says, get me this page. And then Shopify renders the page first. So it's like before it sends them the JavaScript and the photos and anything else, it must first run through the page template and draw the page, right? Because let's say you got 1,000 products, you probably still just have one product page template that has to render each product request. They have written some new bespoke black magic thing that will decrease what they call time to first byte. So the time it takes when you say, hey, Shopify, give me that page, the delay before Shopify starts to give you the page has been reduced. That's good because that is the chief metric, that time to first byte. That's the chief metric by which Google Analytics will determine if a site is fast or slow. And so it's also what Google's using for their Google search ranking, is largely this metric because it is just such a universal, easy way to figure out if site good or bad. So without having to do anything else, this rolls out on your store in the background. You never think about it. You never worried about it. And magically, your store loads faster. Hooray! Storefront render. The other one I want to... well, let's see. Couple cool notes. They said Shopify email has been used to send 30 million emails since its surprise launch just 2 months ago. And it really, like, the Shopify email does one thing and one thing well. It will send broadcast newsletters to people who accept marketing. They are adding scheduling to it. That was a feature that was suspiciously absent at launch, was being able to schedule a newsletter. That's being added. And the last admin one I want to talk about before we move forward is the new order index. So this is rolling out now. I saw this in a client store the day before they announced it. So everyone will be getting this soon. When you look at the orders page, which again, Paul doesn't spend a lot of time on that. When you look at the orders page, it just has more columns to make it easier at a glance to see like what's going on with each order.
I only care about things that affect me directly.
Yeah, you personally. Yeah. I understand. Sections everywhere. Tell me about sections everywhere.
We talked about it last week as part of our wondering
when we were making our predictions.
When we were making our predictions, which is that pages, you think of if you've dealt with your homepage in any way, it has sections on it that you could add and place and move around, but those are specific to the template on the back end. So once you set up a template with sections, it then looks exactly the same on all other things that use that template. Whereas with sections everywhere, or sections anywhere, I always get it wrong. You can create a section and move it around your site, and it can be different on different pages. This is huge, really great, excited for it to work. Still not available, I guess.
They said Sections Everywhere is currently in partner beta. So if you dig around, you can find it and play with it, because I would love to know what it's going to take to retrofit this into some themes. Like, picture that for people who are like, what the heck is he talking about? So you can use you can use a section on your homepage. It works really well. And if it's been implemented in individual templates, you could do it. But the catch is, it only works in that one template. So if I've got product.details and I make a really fancy product page, and then I apply that template to 10 products, guess what? They all get exactly the same layout. Sections Everywhere fixes that, number one. And then number two, these sections, there's not like a section that currently every section is specific to a template. They become universal. You can use them everywhere, and apps can add them. So being able to use them everywhere is nice, because it's like, all right, if I've got this section that I like for my homepage, oh, well, now I can use this on a blog post. Finally, we could solve the problem of, and this should maybe a little bit scare some of the page builder folks, but now it's going to make it a lot easier for themes to natively do much more custom stuff, and for merchants to do it as well. But I want to know, like, all right, future themes will have it built into it. I want to be able to add Sections Everywhere retroactively to some legacy themes. And I want to know, like, is that even feasible and reasonable, and how much work is that going to take?
Yeah, that's my question too, and I get the feeling it's not going to be feasible.
Well, it's a complex thing. Like, I can't imagine.
No, I mean, I'm not like Shopify's bad and lazy for not making it feasible.
No!
I'm saying I'm
now
not
that's
saying,
in the transcript.
I'm
Take it out of
not.
context.
I'm
Paul
saying
Rita,
no.
Shopify's bad and lazy. No.
I'm saying it's the opposite. I mean, that's like a huge. It's a huge lift, and I don't begrudge them at all if it's unable to be done. I mean, it's like the Mac had to dump the freaking floppy drive. Like at some point, you got to dump the floppy drive. You got to dump the floppy drive.
Yes. Shopify Fulfillment Network, which was the big announcement, the big shocking announcement last year at Unite, where they said, hey, we dropped a fat $1 billion on building a warehouse network that our merchants can use. Previously, that was in beta. They're taking the beta label off. You could apply and use Shopify Fulfillment Network now if you want. And they revealed, I don't know if we saw this in the past, it's staffed by robots. It's like if you could picture a utility cart. It's a utility cart that is also a drone. And so these utility carts drive around. I was too busy taking notes and freaking out about a drone-powered warehouse to actually pay attention to what exactly the drones did. But it sounded exciting. Okay, the big one. So if that was last year's big, giant announcement, this year's is Shopify Balance. Did that blow your mind?
It didn't directly affect me, so no.
Shit, this guy.
Initially, it kind of didn't because the Apple move into Apple Card and banking,
Apple Wallet.
Yeah, the Apple credit card and Apple getting involved in banking, and I think there's this world of money, and we think of the credit card companies as being these sort of separate entities and they kind of have their own little stranglehold on things in terms of people's finances, and I think there's so much increase in people. I don't know the right word for this, in people being able to use money. It's sort of okay, well,
liquidity has increased.
And it's sort of it's like people want to pay on their phone, use their phones to pay for things. Well, now in order for that to happen, Apple and Google kind of need to be involved in banking and payments a little bit. And people want to buy things, and people are buying things online. And so if people are buying things online, the company that makes the software to sell things online should probably also needs to be involved in banking online and, that sort of stuff. So it's just this whole thing to make more, everything more liquid and payments flow more freely, I think inevitably leads to a world where there are a lot more people involved in payments and banking.
But we skipped over what Shopify Balance is. It is an attempt to add a bank account into your Shopify dashboard. So your Shopify payments, when you get that payout, ooh, I love that payout, it will get moved directly into your balance, your Shopify balance. And then from there, you can pay bills with it. And then on top of it, you get a debit card that you could use at an ATM and get cash out. So you no longer, Shopify continues its integration, and it was really exciting and shocking when they had Shopify Payments, where they said, all right, we're going to be your credit card processor as well. Well, what happens to that money after it moves out of the credit card processing? It goes to your bank. All right, well, now Shopify's the bank too.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. I assume it's one of those things where the convenience is what will make people use it. Hey, do you want your payout faster? Use Shopify Balance. And then, of course, it's no fee and no minimum.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's just part of your bill. Go ahead.
I'm sure it does. I just wonder, because, there's a whole thing. I just remember probably about 10 or 15 years ago, Walmart has always tried to get involved in banking and
those rats
and financial services. And they always kind of kept going right up to the line of what constituted a financial service before they tripped all the various federal regulations around banking and financial services. And so they keep going forward and pulling back. And so I know there's a realm that you as a provider cannot step into without triggering this giant federal look at you. And so I don't know where that line is, and I'm wondering how Shopify is straddling it. So it's like, because they give you loans, right? Like they give loans, they like
Shopify Capital. Yeah, it gives
so
loans.
It's sort of like, okay, well, when are we a bank now? Like, when are you legally a bank? I don't know. That's something I'd be interested in seeing what happens with this if it fully becomes an entire like part of the financial system.
Well, flat out, the Shopify's chief product officer, Craig Miller, who was describing it, really described it as an attempt to rethink the bank account to better suit a business's needs.
Yeah.
Here's the literal quote. The traditional products offered by banks were created in a world that's very different.
So yeah.
He's talking about, it is. Yes, they're becoming a bank.
Okay. Well, maybe maybe they're fine with getting looked at. Maybe they figured that all out. I don't know. Could Shopify be smarter than me? Jury's still out.
All right. A bold assertion that I am unwilling to support. Mr. Tobias Lutke seems like he could probably talk circles around us. Just saying. I'm not going toe to toe with a Canadian billionaire who has piercing blue eyes. All right.
Multiple Canadian billionaires.
Oh yeah, no, it is a tremendously successful company. All right, final feature I want to talk about. We're just doing the highlights. There's a ton of stuff that they announced, and lots of like little stuff like updates to Flow and a lot of their apps. But all right, the last big one is cross-border domains. So right now, if you want to do a multi-language, multi-currency store, and you're really committed to it and you want to do it right, the way you should do it, best practice is you get your Shopify Plus account, and that gives you access to multiple stores, and you run, you've got your .com is on one store, then your .ca is on another store, and on down the line. And, maybe your French store. And so each of those stores it is a separate account. And then you've got you run an app or JavaScript across all of them to try and do geolocation and bounce people around to the right one. Instead, cross-border domains will let you run multiple domains on your Shopify store, which you could do now, but it will switch the language and currency based on it. But you no longer have this hassle of I have to run and maintain multiple stores. I think it's cool. It saves us some work in setting that stuff up for clients. What's the only thing I don't think we got an update on was multi-store dashboard for.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Like cross-border domains, it solves a lot of the headache that would cause you to have a multi-store system and need a multi-store dashboard. So, but last year there was a multi-store dashboard announced. I don't know what happened to that.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think that was one of my predictions 2 weeks ago was, we're going to get updates on these things, and multi-store dashboard was one of them. But the rest, I don't know, I think we were like, we'll get an update on sections everywhere. I don't know, we didn't get crazy with our announcement, with our predictions, but certainly none of us guessed Shopify becomes your bank.
Yeah, didn't see that coming. Right after they said it, it made total sense, but didn't see that coming.
Yeah. No, I was impressed. Any other thoughts, etc., before we do a teardown?
Everything sounded great. I would like to know when it launches because it's all coming soon. And
good point.
As someone who's into PC gaming, soon has a very wide definition.
Yes, they, at every year at Unite, it's like it's coming later this year is the phrase they use, and whether or not it arrives later this year, flip a coin. I get that these are ridiculously complex tasks that I would have no hope of ever implementing myself. So I understand it. I'm not criticizing, but yeah, that coming soon or coming later this year, that could mean anything. And some of the stuff's rolling out now, like the order index update, the product page states. But you gotta check back. Stay usually just being on their newsletter is the best way to get those updates. So I want to do a teardown. Good sir.
I know you've been really into these dudes, and I'd hear all about it.
Oh, well, I did. I bought a pair of glasses from them, but they have not arrived yet.
That's no good because you bought those glasses like over a week ago, didn't you?
No. Well, so I sent the site to my wife, and I said, if you're looking for Father's Day ideas, get me a pair of sunglasses from these guys. And tell me, my description will be different than yours. Let's hear your description of what our next teardown candidate sells.
They sell 80s rad sunglasses. Like you're the bad guy douche in an 80s teen movie and you're skiing, these are what you wear.
Okay, yes, that is perfect. I do not have to offer a description because you nailed it. It's Chubbies for sunglasses, or Shinesty for sunglasses. And what's so cool about their site is they have absolutely just taken a deep dive into aesthetics. This site is styled like what operating system?
I believe this is Windows 95. So we're talking about, he didn't say who it was. We're talking about Pit Viper sunglasses.
pitvipersunglasses.com. Load it up and follow along.
Yeah. And also, here, before we get into it, you saw this site, lost your mind, and then it made me reskin your Now page on your personal site to also make it retro. Mm-hmm. So just pimp your kurtelster.com/now, and that is also a cool 80s thing now.
We also have a cool client who this is what he wants to do. He wants a website. He wants his product page for one of his products is retro themed. It makes sense for this. He wants to have a page template for just that page that makes it retro like an 80s computer terminal, so we'd essentially use a similar or the same style that you wrote for my personal website.
Yeah, so it's cool as hell.
So if you're into as a recovering web designer, the websites that are like really beautiful, high style don't necessarily interest me. They impress me, but I'm not interested in love with them. Like a site like Ugly Drinks is really gorgeous. But sometimes this is too much. It's taking itself too seriously, I think is my personal issue. And that's purely subjective in me. This site is not taking itself seriously, but they have put in as much effort or more as those really well-designed sites. So load up for me, pitvipersunglasses.com. I've got it open on my screen. I'm screen recording it. What do you got?
I got it open too. Yeah.
All right.
And it's Windows 95. It's crazy. They made choices. I think that's what you're into. You're into someone who's like, I'm making a choice and we're going through it.
Yeah. Someone who's decisive and goes, look, this entire website is going to look like Windows 95 and we are committing 100% to that. Also, we're going to use profanity. A bold choice, but I like it. It fits with the theme. Essentially, this is one of those products that you look confident. Everyone, you feel confident because you know you look like an asshole. There's a category of menswear that fits into that area. Pit Viper sunglasses is one of them, and I truly mean that in the best way possible. As these kinds of products appeal to me. I'm not sure what that says about myself.
No comment.
All right, first impressions.
I don't like it.
Pull the dagger from my heart. Why? Why do you not like it?
It's too busy and too weird. I don't like these I would never buy these sunglasses, and I'm kind of just like, it's not about selling. I understand it's about building an aesthetic, but
yes,
I don't know. I'm just like, all right, I get it. You're silly. Okay, bye.
So that's the advantage.
It impresses me on a technical level that they achieved it very much. On a conversion rate level, I remain unconvinced.
And this is not a client. We don't know them. Hey, I'd love to work with them, but we don't know what those stats are.
Again, I'm sure they make a ton of money, and I'm wrong.
Yeah, I just noticed they have a Travis Pastrana is one of their sponsored athletes. That's cool. If you're into Nitro Circus was his thing back in the day. Okay, so on the site, it still follows like the typical layout. Like there's the title bar of the Windows window is an announcement bar that says we're still taking precautions and still shipping. Fuck you, COVID-19. All right, bold. But we talked about this. You have to address, are you shipping or not? Because people can't assume it anymore.
This is silly, but if you click the close button on that bar, they took way too much time, and it loads different
phrases,
little taglines and phrases.
What's your say?
The optimal blend of style and whatever, and then it yells at you to stop clicking on the X.
Mine says demand respect and authority, which I believe is their tagline. If I click it again, yeah. All right, I'm trying to get it to yell at me. Quit clicking the X. It's hard to come up with more material. Okay, yes, you get the idea. This site's very fun. They've got this. Their hero image is this glorious looped background video that's like 10 seconds.
It's not even. It's 3 seconds.
A guy doing slot car racing. It's 3 seconds. It's It works really well. It's clever. And it's got the product on there. Like, immediately you know you're in for a ride when you see this thing.
And the weird thing for me is if you view the video, they didn't pull the audio out of it. They just have it muted. But if you look at the video itself, he's yelling. He's really going like, yeah, like out loud.
Oh, I did not realize. Then if you scroll down, they've got a horizontal scroller. And again, the scroll bars have been styled like Windows 95. And then they've got I assume they're bestsellers, and they say, get a load of these. And what's funny, like, you see the second one, the Nightfall polarized double wide, right?
Yeah, the hover state's like a grandma.
The hover state's somebody's grandma. It's great. Oh, it's so fun. And they do this thing where they have in addition to the product title, they give you like a little tagline. It's like the double wides, and that's where they're showing you the style. I wonder if that's like they set that as the vendor. I see a lot of time people do that as a cheat, or maybe it's a meta field.
I think that's kind of in like that's like the collection it's in. Like
okay,
there's like the 2000s is like that collection and that sort of stuff.
Okay, and then as you scroll down, like it's another a featured collection that's apparel that matches. It's all like bike apparel that's really ridiculous. And they got a email sign up form, another featured collection. You see on these sites, it's a lot of these like really powerful sites have very long homepages, and it's a lot of featured collections and then content, like lifestyle content to go with it. And then when you finally get to the bottom, what do we got here? Oh, an Instagram feed that is something else. This thing, woo! Voted 69th best sunglass brand page by your mom. Think you've got something worthy enough for us to throw up on our social media? Go ahead, try us. Okay, maybe trying a little too hard with that one. If you look at the bottom, in the footer link, read the links. I did not catch this last time.
Oh, what, like shitty hats?
Yeah, shittyhats.com. They got a Pen 15 club. ASL, which is their About Us page. So maybe they're going a little too far on some of these things where it's not obvious. Like, I only know that ASL is their About page because you hover over it. But they're 100% committed, and I respect it. So let's go into a collection page. If you hover over that mega menu, mega menu still works, still styled like everything else. And it looks GIFs. Yes, they've got animated GIFs on here. I have not seen that before, an animated GIF in a mega menu.
Well, and the best thing is that they can really like pixelate the hell out of it and stomp on it, and it still fits with the aesthetic.
Oh, good point. Yes, they can. Yeah, the site's very fast. So, which of these glasses do you enjoy, Mr. Rita, when we pick a collection?
All right, let's go to the 2000s. Let's just go to those. See what
all right, we'll head to the 2000s. I remember being like 7 years old and thinking this style sunglasses was so cool, especially if they were mirrored.
I don't know why
I thought those were so cool.
The absolute top endorser they could get is if they got like an official like Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yes.
Branding.
Yeah. That's a good description.
Like if they had like official Bret Hart ones, that would, I think, really blow it up for them.
So once you're on the collection page, they go 3 wide, really big image. I love when people have really big product photos on the collection page. And to do that, you need 3 columns, and that's it. Makes it easier to see what you're looking at. I think it's the smart way to go. They've got filtering on the left side, and now that I'm really into filter apps for collections, I would kill to know what app runs this. And then the only thing I don't agree with is their choice to use Quick Shop. They're $100 sunglasses. I don't think you're just like going to use Quick Shop to buy them. What's wrong with going to the product page?
Yeah.
If you scroll further down, they do the thing you love. There is featured content in there.
Oh, yeah, they got a little thing popped in there.
But what's smart is in the 3rd row of this collection, which is 5 rows long, is an image of different sunglasses from a different collection, and it says Shop Grand Prix. This is smart. They're doing internal linking between all of the collections. They know you're probably only buying 1 pair of sunglasses. If you just pick a style, go through it, and you're halfway through it and don't see anything you like, well, you're probably not going to make it to the bottom and find something. So they're offering you in the collection the next set. I think that's very clever.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, I think they have there's like a base form factor they have. Like these are the 2000s form factor, and the only difference is the coloring on like the rims and the lenses. So and like you said, if they went halfway down the page and are realizing they don't like the form factor or they don't like the colorways, it's like, oh, well, maybe if you try these, like maybe you'll like those. They just don't want to lose you.
Yes. And I've not seen anyone do a collection like this, and I think it's really smart. This is like the big takeaway from this.
Major key alert.
All right, so let's click it. I'm going to click Shop Grand Prix.
Well, so will you click on the filter boxes on the left? They're instantaneous.
All right, let me try it. So I only want mirrored glasses. Why would you want anything else? And face width, they've got pretty normal and kind of big. All right, so I'm clicking kind of big and mirror. And boom. All right, it worked. It gave me fewer sunglasses, but yeah, it does appear to be instant.
Yeah, it's like it runs so fast. I'm almost wondering if it's like the other ones are. Oh no, it's actually removing them. I thought it was like maybe they were just like hiding them, like making them like display none. But no, they're actually adding and removing them out of the document, which is crazy.
Do you think that's crazy. Built into the theme, or that's an app?
I'd have to poke around more.
Okay. Let's head to a product page. Let's go. Which one are you clicking?
The America 2000.
Whoa. Fine choice, sir. All right. The page has loaded. And we've got our product photo. It's a carousel. Clicking on it does nothing. That's not smart. So if I want to zoom, so we know this from Baymard Institute studies, at least a third of people, if not more, when they land on a product page, the absolute first thing they do is zoom in on the photo. So you always want to make sure, like, on hover, it zooms in, or it opens in a light box if I click it. Here, they do neither. But they also have a larger than normal photo.
It's a pretty big image. Like, yes. I don't think you need any more than that.
Yes, and they don't have thumbnails here. But instead of the thumbnails, they have very clear, very obvious, like, scroll left, right buttons.
And there's only 3.
Yes.
I mean, you're not scrolling through 100 images.
Yeah, how many photos do I really need for sunglasses? And then when you scroll...
More, because they have, like, the action photos below that, but they're always on and always there, which I think is a really great choice.
A row of 4 lifestyle photos, action photos, look amazing, fit with the brand, they're fun. And then when you scroll down further, you get to a stats section that says, the title is Details for Nerds.exe, and then it gives you the stats. And this is the stuff that's probably in, like, a meta field or tags.
Let's get back up. In the product form, all the things they do right. 1, $99 or 4 payments of $24.75 with Afterpay. So they offer the payment plans like we were talking about before. That helps their conversion rate.
Yep.
2, right up there, size chart. You can click on the size chart. It takes you down on the page. You got a big photo of the product.
Oh, look at that.
It gives you the sizing.
You're right. And they list it in imperial and metric, and they refer to imperial as America. I am amused. And then at the bottom, check out their featured products. The, you may also be interested in is a section called Unrelated Products. And the very first thing it offers me is a Kegel exerciser, and then a UV light, giant wiggle eyes. Can I buy this stuff?
It's links to Amazon. It's just they're
affiliate links.
They're random Amazon products.
They're random Amazon affiliate links. That's diabolical.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. Okay, I've never seen.
I'm offered a fake butt.
I wonder how they populate it. Or if it's just random unload.
I bet it's random stupid stuff they found.
They have a pre-selected list.
Yeah, and it's unrelated products.
That's very cool. In the footer, all their policies have the heading of cranky people stuff. That's where their contact us is. Oh boy.
But let's scroll back up here.
All right.
When you look at that Data for Nerds box, datafornerds.exe.
Got it.
It's got I'm sold, buy now. You got an add to cart button in that box.
Wow.
Then you got good reviews. Scroll down. Hey, this is great, blah, blah, blah. We got a little bit of text content about here. After the text content, add to cart button. I mean,
you're right. There's 3 add to cart buttons on this page.
Mm-hmm.
Smart. And if you click add to cart, this drawer cart opens, and it is sweet. They have, there's a progress bar in here. So my cart is $148 right now. I got 2 pairs of glasses in here. And at the top it says, add $2 to activate free shit. And there's a progress bar that goes along with it. That's smart. And then below it, their cross-sell is literally a little box that says, give us more money, and is advertising a similar pair of sunglasses. Like a different style, but the same color.
All right. Is that an upsell?
Cross-sell.
All right. Well, I have a cross-sell for a lanyard, I think, that attaches to your sunglasses. An $8 lanyard.
All right. So when I added the cross-sell, now my cart is at $207 in case I've completely lost my mind. And at the top it says, great success. Select your free shit below. And down here it says, select your free shit. And it's a little scroller. I could choose 3 different things. And one of them is a lanyard. So I'm going to add the lanyard. The cross-sell is still there, but it's just showing different glasses. Maybe it's random because it's showing me 3 different ones right now. And then at the bottom it says, the checkout button is my favorite label. It's the one that Amazon uses. It says proceed to checkout. And then below that, it says you get free US shipping. Booyah. Now, the one thing I disagree with is they use a lot of blue text to fit this theme. The problem is blue traditionally means this is a link. They're using it as a highlight where text in bold is blue and bold. So it makes it look like I could click on it, but I cannot.
Yeah, I've been clicking on stuff being or hovering over it being where does that link go? And it's not a link.
Yeah. So that's a minor issue. I mean, just doing a different color, it wouldn't be quite as bad. And then once we head into the checkout, it's styled, but not extraordinarily so to match the site. But they have this nice little custom message in here. Expect delivery delays with all services. Fuck you, COVID-19. USPS priority now 3 to 4 business days. I like they just casually keep saying this.
Well, and that uses a monospace old computer font there to keep in with the aesthetic.
But if you're going to customize the checkout, you could probably make the whole thing that monospace, or at least do the headings. I think that would be cool.
I would change the colors. I would make the colors really wild.
Yeah, or just a background. I don't know. Maybe the checkout is sacred to even these people.
Yeah, good point.
So, I don't know. But yeah, no, this just for pure ridiculousness, style, and execution, I greatly enjoy the site. It is a ton of fun, and I'm sure was really quite difficult and took someone a lot of work to do. I'd love to know who did it. If somebody knows, reach out. Just so I could say, wow, that was cool.
Yeah, no, it is an achievement. I will give it that.
That's yep, yes it is. All right, Mr. Rita, any closing thoughts? Anything else you would like to say before we wrap it up? We've gone a little long.
No, this is fine. No, that's it. Everyone, keep on keeping on.
yeah, join our Facebook group. There's just been a lot of activity, a lot of stuff going on. Search Unofficial Shopify Podcast Insiders on there, and as well, well, what else did I have to say? Oh, you know what? That's it. Just join our Facebook group, and I will see you there.
All right, bye everyone.
Let's get out of here. See you, Paul.